These designs that you are seeing here were printed with an i3200 DTF print head. I'll get you guys all close in there so you can see the vibrancy and detail of each of these designs. Also note that there is no white outline on any part of the design, and everything is vibrant. On these dark color shirts in particular, the vibrancy is really important to pay attention to. But then also on the light color shirts, vibrancy on these DTF transfers are going to be amazing. And I know that it's kind of hard to tell over the screen on the camera, but from my perspective, what you guys are seeing on the camera is a lot different. Like, these look more vibrant in real life. And the color here is actually kind of like it's not exactly a white, it's kind of like a khaki, a beige, that kind of a color. So really impressed with all of these, how they turned out. And this right here is actually the transfer before it has been applied to the t-shirt. This is a finished DTF transfer that has been printed with our DTF printer. As you can tell from the back, it's got that signature orange peel texture that is very common with DTF transfers. So let's get into it. This video is basically going to be a guide on what not to do. I'm going to be kind of talking you through and showing you the mistakes that I made in my business so that hopefully you guys don't make them yourself in your own. And it's kind of just like a video that I wish I had when I was younger. I wish I could send this video to a younger version of myself. All right, so if you guys are new here, my name is Alex. I'm the owner of AMS Transfers. We are a custom screen print and DTF supplier located in Houston, Texas, and we've been in business since about 2020. Currently, but we are using our two Audley DTF printers. We picked this one up directly from the manufacturer in China, Audley, and we got this one in November of 2022. And for this one, we also bought the exact same printer, got it directly from the manufacturer in China, Audley again, and we picked up this one in August of 2023. Since getting these, we have printed over 350,000 feet of DTF transfers using both of these DTF printers for a little over $500,000 just in DTF transfers printed. All right, I'm going to leave the DTF printers to run. They get a little loud when production is actually running, so I'm going to get out of the guy's hair. But to start this off, let's go ahead and answer the question that I probably get most often on my page, and that is, should I just buy an A3 Plus DTF printer? I'm just getting started. No, I would not recommend buying an A3 Plus DTF printer if you are just getting started. I have a number of different reasons, but I think probably the biggest one is going to be the time that it takes to actually print one. I actually have never owned a DTF printer like this myself, just because when I was doing my research, these things were still available, but the time that it takes to actually print a transfer is just insanely long, and it's not sustainable, scalable, or anything for actually doing real business. I think actually, I know this. So if you are doing a 1400 DPI A3 Plus size design, it would take over 10 minutes to print that entire design at 400 DPI, which is the normal DPI that we print on our 24-inch Audley DTF printers that you guys just saw. So we could probably print that same size design in a little under 5 minutes on our DTF printer, depending on how we configured the orientation of the file and whatnot. So we could even probably fit two of them next to each other, and it would still take approximately the same time, about half as long as something like the A3 Plus DTF printers. But not only is it super slow, also the prints that you get are going to be very inconsistent, and you're going to have a lot of problems with the print heads. Most A3 Pluses that I've seen do not use the i3200 print head. Sometimes they're like a 1390 Epson print head or some sort of variation of the sort. They're all a little bit different depending on where you get it from. So the print head that you're actually running the ink through matters a lot. And if they're not specifically formulated to run DTF ink through them, it can be a lot of problems. And finally, the probably biggest reason on top of all of the other ones that I've just listed, and that's going to be actually curing the print once you have it done, once you have it printed off of the printer. Curing it also is not going to be something easy to do on a printer of that size, of that caliber. Some places I've seen recommend putting a heat press over the transfer to kind of cure the adhesive on it. Other ones have like a little tray system. I'll pull up an image for you. And other ones do have like an actual roller system, but that increases the price of the package significantly. So I think by default, most of them come with that kind of like tray heating system, and you can only do one transfer at a time. So I guess the main problem that I have with the A3 Plus is it is like, obviously if you are just getting started, something like this might look attractive for you. But once you actually start looking at the numbers, once you start looking at the specs of it, if you're really looking to use this for business, it kind of falls apart really quickly. Just a few other things that I wanted to mention real quick about that. Number one, if depending again who you buy these things from, they kind of come from everybody, but there's like one company making it, so it really depends on who you get it from. But depending on if you use any ink outside of the inks that that company manufactures, they typically do this thing where they void your warranty just for using any ink that is not theirs. So it's kind of going to be locking you into buying their materials, and their expensive materials at that. So I just wanted to mention that. And then another thing, I'll get into this a little bit later in the video, but that is the toxic fumes that are associated with DTF printing in general. So I'm going to get into that a little bit later, but these are the things why I would not recommend an A3 Plus DTF printer if you're just getting started right now. Now you guys might be sitting back there behind your screens wondering, all right, I hear you, Alex. What about one of those Epson printers that I converted to use DTF ink? No, that does not work either. That is probably a worse bet than buying the A3 Plus DTF printer. It is, again, going to be very slow, very inconsistent. You're going to have a ton of trouble curing it because you don't have a drying, shaking, curing oven. But it's just going to be another one of those things. If you're looking to do this for business, you're looking to make money off of this purchase, something like that I just don't think is going to hold water. If you're looking to like make some t-shirts for yourself, make some for your friends or family, something like that, maybe the A3 Plus or converting an Epson printer to use DTF ink, that can be something that would work for you. But I think the second you really want to start making some serious money with the machine, it's just going to fall apart. All right, and now probably the third biggest question that we get on the channel, on my TikTok, whatever it is. I'm just starting. Should I go ahead and purchase the printer you got? Should I get an Audley 24-inch DTF printer? No, don't do it. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. I am here to tell you guys what we did wrong so that you don't make the same mistakes we did. All right, let me give you a little bit of inside baseball on the Audley 24-inch DTF printer. This comes with two i3200 print heads. They are made by Epson, and with these print heads, you want to ensure that you are running these DTF printers nearly all day, every single day. Because if you go maybe just 1, 2, or 3 days without actually running the DTF printer, without moving any of the ink through the print heads, through the lines, whatever it is, you are going to be dealing with some nasty nozzle clogs that are going to be very hard to get out. And the worst part about all of it is if you can't get it out, then you have to pay $1,500 each print head to replace them. That's right, each print head costs $1,500. To be honest, I would say if you are at the point in your business where you feel you have enough volume flowing through in DTF transfer orders where you could run an Audley 24-inch DTF printer for, let's say, like 6 hours a day, then I would say you are probably at the point where buying a machine like you saw we have out there really does start to make sense. You probably are doing enough volume in your business where buying a DTF printer of that size, of that caliber, really does actually start to make sense on paper and in real life. But again, the other thing that you have to consider with these DTF printers, and really just DTF in general, especially when you're actually the one manufacturing and producing the transfers, it's going to be those toxic fumes, man. I wish it wasn't the case, but depending on the system that you have, depending on the ventilation that you have, the proper PPE that you have, like if you actually have ventilated masks, respirators, I think they're respirators, not ventilated masks. Whatever you have, if you have means of actually controlling the fumes for the DTF printers, that can be all right, but most people just use the standard like vacuum sucker thing that comes with their DTF package, and that unfortunately does not cut it. Unfortunately, we're seeing really just tough to hear case from another fellow YouTuber, Brother Ernest, and he's claiming that he had gotten a cancer diagnosis from the actual DTF powder. So that's just really unfortunate to hear, and kind of just really reaffirms that this is something that you probably want to leave to the professionals. It's not something that you're going to want to really get yourself mixed up in if it's something that you're just looking to do on the side to bring in a couple extra bucks. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I'm super clear on that for those of you who are interested. I know that this is like all the rage now. I see it all the time on TikTok, on Instagram, whatever it is. I know that it's really popular, and it's something everyone wants to be their own boss, right? Be an entrepreneur, all of that stuff. So I get it. Believe me, I get it. I guess this leads me into, well, what do I recommend? And again, this is like over the course of my years in business, running a DTF business, running a transfer business. And if honestly, if I were to do this all over again, I think I would probably end up starting with a transfer on-demand provider. Transfer on-demand providers, if you guys don't already know, it's pretty similar to like print on demand, if you guys have heard about that. So like you can order transfers for designs that you want to sell or designs that you own. So you can like create a website or web store using a transfer on demand platform, and you can upload any designs that you have. You can also like add the ability to give your customer custom orders. So if you have any customers reaching out saying they want to order customs from you, now they can just like go ahead and upload whatever designs, artwork they have to your gang sheet builder on your website. And that way you could just streamline the processes of your customers ordering from you, uploading custom orders, because custom orders can get really tricky really fast with something like a transfer on-demand provider. And I would say probably the best thing about using a transfer on-demand provider is that you don't have to worry about anything. So I know that I'll just go into it for those of you who don't know. Basically, transfers on demand is in the back end. Once your customer places an order on your web store, like they order a design, they order customs or something, in the back end, the transfer on demand provider is actually going to be the one who prints, packages, produces all of the DTF transfer, all of the orders, and they send them directly to your customer. So no more like the middleman where you order from a DTF transfer supplier, you order it to yourself, and then you ship that back out to your customer. You don't have to do that, and you just don't even have to worry at all about handling any DTF transfers, handling the production, managing the logistics, managing shipping, anything like that. All of that is taken care of for you in the back end by your transfer on demand provider. So say goodbye to nozzle clogs, say goodbye to those nasty fumes, headaches from dealing with the print head nozzle clogs, everything like that. Any headaches to do with production, actually dealing with the DTF printers. You don't need any space for this. Oh my gosh, if someone told me that I could have gotten started without needing so much extra space to put these DTF printers, to actually run the ventilation out to the outside, all of this stuff, if someone told me all that, man, I wish. But yeah, there are so many things that when you partner with a transfer on demand provider that they just take off of your plate and you don't even have to worry about. And when you're just getting started, that's kind of important. And that's kind of something I wish I knew. If I were to be able to go ahead and start accepting custom orders, and then in the back end, all of the orders are getting printed and produced for me, and really all I have to do is worry about like marketing my website, getting customers to order, things like that. I tell you, man, I wish I knew something like this existed when I was just getting started. All right, so let me kind of break things down for you, give you a little bit more of an example. So say that I wanted to charge $7 to my customers for a design or a custom transfer, whatever it is. I want to charge $7. So I set the pricing at $7, and then when my customer actually places the order, they pay me $7, and then I pay the transfer on demand provider $2.50. That means that anything in between that $2.50 and $7, all of that is my profit. So that would be $4.50 in this example, and all of that would be going straight to me as my commission for bringing the sale, for actually managing and marketing the web store, everything like that. So that just goes to me. for just doing things on my laptop and like making TikToks, things like that. Like I don't have to actually do anything to like ship the order, to make the order, anything. I just get $4.50 for marketing my web store. These can be really interesting for those of you guys who are interested. I wish that I had known about something like this that did exist when I was just getting started. I would have definitely jumped on the boat, and I'm not even going to think about where I would be now if I did do that, if I didn't have to invest the money in those 2 DTF printers. Those 2 DTF printers back there cost me 10 grand a piece. If I could have invested that 10 grand in something else in my business, again, I'm not even going to think about where my business would be now. But yeah, I think it's a really interesting solution and something that is kind of slept on in the industry. Everybody I know is really interested in buying a DTF printer and getting started themselves, but something like this is a really smart way to just get started. And if you guys are interested in getting started, I know a couple of places out there. AMS Transfers Plus has been around the longest and is kind of like the most reputable in the whole transfers on demand industry. They were the ones who really started selling their, offering those service to their customers. So if you guys are interested, AMS Transfers Plus, you guys can, your customers, when they place an order before 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, that order is going to get shipped out the exact same day. So your customer orders at like 4 on Monday, that order is going to ship on Monday, and then who knows when it'll get delivered, whatever they choose for the shipping speeds. AMS Transfers Plus has 3 different options for you to give to your customers. And if your customers order more than $100, they get free standard shipping. More than $300, they get free next day shipping. So again, let me just game this out for you real quick. Your customer orders a $300 order today on Monday. That order would ship today. And then if they did do over $300, they qualify for free next day shipping. So without the customer paying any additional, they will get their transfers the very next day, Tuesday. That's pretty insane. So yeah, they have all of those free shipping promos, and the big thing about this is when you sign up for like a transfer on demand provider like AMS Transfers Plus, they offer you a discount on their own retail price. So depending on like the plan you choose, I think they have some that go up to like 50% off. If you sign up for AMS Transfers Plus, you would get 50% off the actual base cost of the transfer. So it kind of really depends on where you are in your business. If you're just getting started, they do have a free plan completely for free. You guys can just like get started with your business completely for free. Or if you guys are doing a little bit more volume and you're already kind of selling DTF transfers however you are, they do have different paid tiers, and you can calculate all of this, like which plan is best for you. On their website, they have an ROI calculator where you can kind of play around with the volume that you plan to sell, kind of estimate, guesstimate, whatever you want to do. And it'll spit out whatever plan is best for you at your current circumstances in your volume. So I just wanted to make a video about this, kind of showing you guys exactly how all of this works, what I would have done if I had started over again right now, if I could send this video to my younger self. I really wish I could, but I hope that this video has been helpful. If you guys do own any of the DTF printers that I talked about in this video, please leave any insights that you guys have down in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. In the channel that I've started here, I try and promote a heat transfer community where we all can learn from each other and just continue the tree of knowledge for heat transfer. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please hit the subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed the video, give the video a like. I would really appreciate it. And comment any questions or concerns that you guys have down below. I respond to all of the comments that come through on my page, so I'll see you guys there. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.